Hi guys and welcome to Gypsy. This week we are talking about liminal space. And for those who don't know what liminal space means, it's an in-between space. It's a transition space and it's the spaces that we experience between one point and another. Now we get liminal spaces in architecture and urban design, but then there's also a spiritual component to it. But today we're focusing mainly on the design of liminal spaces. So liminal spaces come in two scales. We experience them on a micro scale, which is very often spaces like courtyards, passages, and sometimes oversized windowsills, where we get to sit and breathe and just take a pause moment before we carry on moving to our next destination. The other scale is macro scale, and this is usually on an urban scale, and we experience these liminal spaces through grand piazzas and plazas, urban staircases, and also thoroughfares, sometimes also bus stops. And it's not very often that we think about these spaces because we never spend a lot of time in them, but they are part of a journey. They are part of an in-between where we are trying to reach a destination. So liminal spaces are made up of three components. The one which is stillness, the other which is community, and the third which is journey. So when we think about stillness in liminal space, it's really when we get the opportunity to just sit, to pause, breathe, and think about where it is that we are going or where it is that we've come from. And a very good example for that would be a bus stop, where you sit at the bus stop and you wait for the bus, and it's very often just you and yourself, and you think about life or where you're going. The next is community, because we share space with other people, especially in an urban context. We either directly or indirectly in contact with other people. So how do we engage with these people, and how do the spaces get designed to accommodate this interaction with other people? Do they segregate us? Do they include us? And the third is journey. So the stillness and the community part both add to this whole experience of journey. So these three components come to life when you think about liminal space being designed. And in architecture and urban design, there are two things that make up space. One, which is the physical space and how we divide it or how we include it and how we set up the parameters. And the other is the physical characteristic of it, the tangible, the texture, the color, and all of these various things that make us feel a certain way. So what we then did this week is to explore liminal space in the Cape Town city centre. We went around plazas, thoroughfares, and bridges, staircases, and we experienced them. And one of my favourite is the plaza on Tidal Square, where we experienced how a person feels in such a vast space when there are not a lot of people. How does that space make us feel? It makes us feel lonely, it makes us feel small because the buildings are of a grand scale. The light is limited, it penetrates only through certain areas, and also the urban fabric is not broken down into smaller chunks that makes us feel human in that space. Another would be the bus stop that we explored, where there's a rich texture on the wall behind us. It's also a smaller scale. It encapsulates you and it really holds you. So this is what we've explored. Please have a look at the images. You'll see we tried also in principle to capture the essence of the space, but also the movement through the space. So you will see black moving figures. That's us. We open up the shutter speed for longer and just try to capture the movement through the space. Let us know what you think. Until next time. Bye bye.